Hey everyone. Well, welcome to the Heat Team training call. I love these calls. I learn something and get inspired every week. And tonight is no exception. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sandy Abrams-Tavola.
Sandy, I just muted everybody. Hang on, Sandy, I just muted everybody so you can start over because it was way too noisy. So unmute yourself and then we're ready.
Hey everyone. Welcome to the Heat Team training call, weekly training call. We are so excited about tonight's call, and I love these every week. Tonight, I am super excited to introduce my friend Jamie to you. And first of all, just a tiny bit about me. I am one of the NMDs on the Heat team and just love this team. And I love how from the top down, just the inspiration, the training, the just wanting you to be the best version of you. And that's what I love about our company. And I love the one team, one mission. And one of the most amazing things have been the people that I've met in the process that are sidelined to me, have no tie to financially, but are so willing to share their trade secrets, to collaborate, to inspire us. And Jamie Kuenzie, I have just fallen in love with her from the time I met her, because you'll notice this, she just lights up a room. And she's just very real, down to earth, and she just exudes love. So I'm going to share a little bit about her and then turn it over to Jamie. So Jamie is married to an amazing man named Jaron, and they have 3 healthy children, Owen, Addie, and Ethan. Jamie and her family recently moved their family from Missouri to Kansas. I'm sure she'll tell us all about that. Jamie has been in the Juice Plus business for over 15 years. Her dedication and drive to succeed in inspiring healthy living has allowed her to fully retire from her professional career of occupational therapy. Jamie leads by example for many, day in and day out, in her personal and professional life, by being the epitome of becoming a product of the product. You can catch her almost daily conquering a CrossFit workout or practicing yoga or bar. Jamie has mastered sharing on social media by making her private public. People follow and want to know what she does. In her career, Jamie has been awarded 12 Club of the Year, been nominated for the most prestigious company award of 39 Club of the Year. She won the 39 Club of the Year in 2016, and Jamie's team became the youngest 100 club in the U.S. in 2016 and still is today. Jamie, thanks so much. Share about how you built an empire.
I have to edit that because I think Stephanie Getz is younger than me. So now she takes over the youngest 100 club in the U.S. So I can still say I'm one of the youngest. But and actually this month of April, which we're about out of, right? A few hours left here. That I got to celebrate my 16th year anniversary of sharing Juice Plus. So excited. And I'm excited to be on this call because so many of you guys I consider like dear family and friends. So I love every sweet face I see on here. Hi, Patty. So I'm excited to share with you guys tonight. I still get nervous doing these. I know that seems silly. But I think it's nervous because I'm all about adding value. As if you follow me on social media, maybe you see that. So it's a big deal that you guys walk away with something that you can use tonight. And so I drew one of Lauren's I am cards before, and universally enough, I got I am wise. So I'm excited to share my wisdom with you on this call. And it says I'm committed to going with my instinct. So that's totally me. I'm not really programmed about what I'm going to share with you guys tonight, but I've thought on some things because truly we call our team Team Empire. Now my team is Team Strong within the Empire, but I'll get to that piece of the story in just a little bit. But just a background on, if you're newer to this team, who I am and kind of how I got here to be on the Zoom with you today. 16 years ago in March, was when a coworker had mentioned Juice Plus to me. I was 25 years old. She was a coworker. We were both occupational therapists in the nursing home setting. She was a mentor to me in that field. And so she said, you should try Juice Plus. I think she saw me struggling, as many of you guys probably see on social media. A lot of people are having allergies right now. That was me. And that was pretty much life. Like, I was a sick kiddo. I truly, like, if you can kind of think back to one of your first flashes of a memory, one of my very first flashes of a memory was being in an oxygen tent at the age of 1. And so I just grew up with a lot of respiratory distress, a lot of croup. By the age of 5, I was on an exercise-induced an asthma inhaler as well. I grew up allergic. Like, I had started to just discover food allergies pretty young. Weirdly enough, I'm allergic to poultry. So that took some time back in the 70s to figure out a poultry allergy. And then I went through some other health challenges, did 6 years of the allergy shot. I kind of lived in a bubble. And by the age of 25, was on 8 prescription medications, which is a nightmare. And mostly for asthma and allergies. I was on an antidepressant or anti-anxiety, which I now look back and think probably had a lot to do with the amount of other medications I was on and their side effects. But also the other medicine that I was on was a birth control pill. I was a young 25-year-old. And I have heard from a pharmacist that like 9 out of 10 women who are on birth control or a hormone replacement are also on an anti-anxiety, antidepressant. And so that could have been a piece of the puzzle too. So I really thought medicine was like going to be my whole life. I didn't know that there was a way out. And so my coworker very kindly said to me that she had been on Juice Plus for 2 years, and after a year, she got off all of her asthma and allergy meds. She was in her early 50s. So that statement was really huge to me because I had heard of people growing out of those things, but I hadn't by 25. And the only thing she changed was this product, and she was able to get off all of her asthma and allergy meds. That was huge. It gave me hope. But she was not a distributor. And so it was not cool to Google Juice Plus 16 years ago or to put my credit card information online for sure. And so the next time she got her shipment, she gave me a bottle of each of hers to get started. And back then it was only a month's supply. And back then it was actually only the fruit and veggie. And so I'd started taking it, but I had already committed to my head that it took her a year to get off all her meds, be on Juice Plus longer than just a month. And I was always really open. I was a vitamin junkie in addition to all the medications, and obviously none of that was working. And so I did find a distributor. She was my sister's friend, and my sister was completely skeptical. So just know that as Brandy likes to say, every dud knows a stud, and my sister's not really a dud, but she was completely skeptical with Brandy, and she said, well, Jamie, you should call Brandy if you want to order it, because I had heard of it and I knew I wanted it. So I called Brandy to order. Product-wise, I'll give you that story. Long story short, 2 months of consistently taking it. I went home for one weekend, and my little sister asked me to go for a run. I forgot my inhaler, and I was able to run the entire time without needing my inhaler. And it was exciting, but it was also scary at the same time because I was scared that it was too good to be true. Like, seriously, fruits and vegetables in a capsule, my lifetime of exercise-induced asthma is going to go away. And it did. And so by 6 months, I was completely off all of the asthma and allergy, and I was able to get off the anxiety med. And that was huge because my big picture was working in that nursing home setting. I worried, what are all the side effects? What are all the contraindications? How is this going to affect me when I want to start to have a family with Jaron? And so, in my NMD speech, I get emotional at this piece of my story because not one of those drugs ever touched any of my baby's bloodstreams. And if you took my Juice Plus paycheck away from me today, like it did what it needed to do, and I would be okay because I have 3 super healthy babies. And today they are 12, 10, and 7, and they rarely get sick. If they get sick, it lasts a day, and it's so minor compared to everything else that's going around. So you guys know, like, I wanted to start with that piece of my story because I feel like sometimes we get away from that passion of why we said yes to Juice Plus and why we decided to share it and why you guys are hopping on here to grow your business. Maybe you could think of somebody with asthma and allergies that you could share my story with. And I actually did just record it for somebody on Voxer today. So I'd be happy to share it. But it does have a little bit of my business story weaved in. And the business story, if I could paint a picture for you guys, when I was 25, I happened to be an OT by a weird just series of decisions. Like, it happened for me, and because of an initial school that I had a soccer scholarship at, they ended up getting rid of the degree field that I was going into, and so I kind of had to figure out real quick what's the second option. So OT was not my first option, but I felt like I needed to commit to it because I'd switched like twice to get there. And so I finished that degree field, but I really felt unsettled in the profession. Like I loved helping people, but I just didn't feel like that was what I was supposed to do for my whole life. I felt like I was called to make a difference in a different way, but I had no idea what that was supposed to look like. And so I actually had started taking classes on top of my degree, and I started taking them in business. I'm like, who knows? I knew I wanted to help people, but I also knew I wanted to create wealth. So not just a paycheck, I wanted to create wealth. And my grandpa had role modeled that for me. He was the president of the bank and just very philanthropic in our community. He has streets and industrial parks named after him in my hometown. And he gave back a lot to the community and our family. And I wanted that same give back, but I didn't understand stocks and bonds and real estate and gold and all of that like my grandpa had done. But I did know that my grandpa was somebody who was an only child of a single mom. And he started in the bookkeeping at the bank and worked himself all the way to the top of, being the president of the bank. So I know I have that drive in me to set my goal and to achieve it. And so here I am taking business classes. And I think really, if I think back, it was my mother-in-law who really was turning me on to personal growth and development. I really hadn't been introduced to that world. And I started reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I opened my heart and my mind to like this other idea, right? Like that one square of the cash flow quadrant. Like how can you kind of be a franchisor, be your own boss, but have people work for you where you kind of really make money. And so when I called Brandy to order Juice Plus, she was ignorance on fire. And she said to me what was said to her. And I want you guys to write it down because it is so simple what she said to me. And she only said it to me because it was exactly what was said to her. And she said, Jamie, it's only $50 to share Juice Plus. You love helping people. Doesn't it make sense to share it with a few other people and offset your cost? And absolutely it did. She had no idea all of this other stuff, job dissatisfaction that I was going through, nor was I going to tell her because she really was more like a stranger to me. She was my sister's best friend, not mine then. And so I had this like little spark of hope, right? Like, I think that's all we need is this little spark. I had the spark of hope, like maybe this could be the thing, that allowed me to create wealth. And I had no idea of the industry at all. And so I said yes within my first 2 months to a bigger Juice Plus event. I have no idea. Again, Brandy was not really a comfort zone for me, and I knew nobody at the camp that I was going to. But I saw people who really cast the vision, in 3 to 5 years were making it to national marketing director and, able to make a 6-figure income. And I just thought, man, even if it took me 10 years, like in my mid 30s, I could retire from therapy. Like that was the vision that I set for myself. And it did take me 10 years to reach national marketing director. So I didn't have social media. I had CDs at the very beginning, or not, I had cassette tapes too at the very beginning. I photocopied brochures. I had magazine articles. Like I did all of the kind of archaic things. And so it was like one by one by one by one. And then with the rise of social media, it really helped me then to get to national marketing director. So my first goals, you guys, I don't know where it is that you are on your journey, but I would have never told Brandy that I wanted to like make it all the way to the top at the beginning. I wouldn't have said that I even wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. First it was like, I just want to offset my costs. And then as I achieved that, then it was maybe I'll cover my car payment. And then I achieved that. And then maybe I'll cover my condo payment. And then I achieved that. Like I had to prove to myself that I could do these things. It was too scary to to verbalize the bigger dreams and goals I had, which really deep in my heart is I thought I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Now over 16 years of personal growth, I realized that I wanted to be a work-from-home mom. Like I wanted to have the flexibility to be there for my kids when they needed me, but I also am driven to build something of my own and to contribute to the family and to be successful financially in addition to my husband. And so grateful for this business. The cool thing about our company too is that I did grow this very part-time, and I was able to go from full-time to part-time to PRN to completely step away from therapy. I see somebody asking that statement. You guys, really what Brandy said to me is, Jamie, it's only $50 to share Juice Plus. And I'm going to give you actually a different set of verbiage in just a little bit, but she said it's only $50 to share Juice Plus. You love helping people. Doesn't it make sense to share it with a couple other people and help offset your cost? And it did. But I was able to grow this slowly. I got stuck along the way. 10 years it can be a normal journey, but it's not, I guess, the average. Who knows what that is anymore? But because I got stuck at sales coordinator, I'll say stuck, for 2 years or 3 years. And then once I got to senior sales coordinator, I stayed there for 6 years. So I want to give you guys permission wherever it is that you are, like you literally can just make a decision and be able to move forward into the next step. I like to tell the part of the story that I really think Brandy got me to senior sales coordinator. I say that because when I looked at that stair step, you guys, I saw the very top and I saw the very bottom, and I thought, I'm average. I can get in the middle. I can hit sales coordinator. And it's a self-worth issue. Like I keep repeating personal growth because it is so important. But I saw myself at sales coordinator, and I really didn't believe in my heart I'd go much further than that. So I did get there. And then I stayed there for 2 years. And then I did get to senior sales coordinator. But what happened was I had a miscarriage. And that my whole goal of being a stay-at-home mom was wrecked because can I even be a mom in the first place now? And so then the month we hit senior sales coordinator, I found out I was pregnant again. And like all of as joyful as I was for both, I was scared, obviously, because I'd had a miscarriage. And I just went into the tunnel like, I just want to be a mom. And I put all my effort into just having a healthy baby. And then when healthy baby was here, just being in that moment of being a mama. And so, then I had baby 1 to baby 2, they're 18 months apart, and then baby 2 to 3. So I just had a lot of my journey, like being with my babies, because I didn't know if I was going to get to be a mom in the first place. And then when I started missing, the field trips and missing Owen's first steps, like those pains started coming back a lot to me of not having that flexibility. So after my third baby is when I made that decision, like I'm done being a senior sales coordinator. I'm ready to move forward. And so figure out what it is that your pain is. And if you're having trouble feeling worthy of a higher position, please get with your sponsor and have them work with you on it. So once I hit national marketing director, it was like this whole other world opened up. I kind of like to think, and Nikki and Chris might know, but I know we're going to learn some new things about our marketing plan at the NMD meeting in Dallas. But I kind of like to say, like, think of NMD as halfway there. If you saw a stair step and it had NMD and then it had 12 club, 24 club, 39 club, 50 club, 75 club, 100 club, then NMD would kind of be in the middle. And kind of start setting your sights and your brain on like, I'm average, I can get to NMD, because I do feel like that. And at NMD, then I had to learn this culture piece about building an empire that's stable and lasting. I got the first half of my NMD bonus. I fell back for a hot second. I did not get the second half of my NMD bonus. But then it is so important, no matter what goal it is that you guys set, like if you're going for sales coordinator, express track or something, that once you achieve that, really quick, reset your goal to the next thing and work out with your sponsor, map it out what that looks like. I mean, celebrate for sure, but pretty quick set your next goal, because what happens, even a national marketing director, a lot of times is that you hit it and then you fall back, and that doesn't feel good. I'm somebody who really likes to feel authentic, and for a little bit I didn't feel authentic in being an NMD, but because of that pain too, just I like to be authentic, then we hit 24, 39, 50, 75. So I think I was some of the first to get to take advantage of those bonus monies. Unfortunately, Nikki and I missed out on the 100 club bonus, which is so sad, but it's available for all of you guys to hit. So that's more important. And I think there's more exciting things coming after May, but this culture piece. So Brandy and I, when you raise up your first leader, some confusion can happen. And she thought I was just going to break off from her and do my own thing. And it started feeling really weird between us. And I'm somebody also, I'm a creative and I like to try new things. And I just told her, like, I'm just going to try this. I'm going to see if it works with a small group of people. And if it does, then I'm going to share it with everybody. I don't want to share something with everybody if it doesn't work, because I don't want to distract or confuse everybody. And so Brandy and I had to really work on our relationship. So just know that that piece may come for you guys where there's just some awkwardness or weirdness. as people are moving up the marketing plan, but I cannot stress enough for you to over communicate with people that that's happening or that you're feeling those weird feelings, and just keep working on it. Brandy and I have worked on our relationship so much. So what happened, because it used to be Team Instinct, which was Brandy's team name, I knew that we needed a different team name. Like, she needed to stay Team Instinct, I needed to stay Team Strong, but we needed an umbrella for the team. And so that's where we came up with Team Empire. Like, we are all building an empire, and we are all like equal, and we are all teammates underneath the umbrella, and all of our NMD personalities can shine underneath there. And so that was really important. So after Tampa, we got together as NMDs, and we decided to come up with our core values for the empire. And we actually took a test to see, it was kind of, we averaged out, like, there's 5 of us NMDs that were present, and we answered this series of questions together, like, what was the average for the 5 of us? And this is what we came up with. And so on our team page, when people log in on the pinned posts, we tell people, welcome to the empire. We're excited to have you join us. This is our community page where we can share ideas, celebrate each other, and house team training and event details. Here are our empire core values. Number 1 is honesty. Speaking the truth in love. We believe in representing our team authentically, genuinely, and sincerely. We take responsibility for both our actions and our business. Number 2 is love. Relationships are everything. We value relationships with our team, our customers, and our community as a whole. We enjoy helping and caring for others while loving them well. 3, gratitude. Take time to give thanks. We are reflective and grateful. Number 4 is perseverance. Finish what you start. We are fiercely protective of all of our team. Regardless of the obstacle, we stay united and rise together. And 5 is teamwork and fun. We are one. We value gifts, strengths, and contribution. Together we are unstoppable. Celebration is essential. All are welcome. So those are our team values, and I think it's really good for people to see those. And I'm happy to share with you. So something that hit me, and maybe you guys have noticed it too, and it was before the Tampa conference, and I saw my PVC changing, or my report changing a little bit, and I got a little unsettled in it. So you guys know how if people didn't go and renew their distributorship, they were going off our reports? Okay. It didn't feel right. And I was listening to this interview. I'm a learner, you guys. I learn as much as I can from really wise people. But I was listening to a YouTube of Celine Egan, who's one of the owners in Australia, and she was interviewing Richard Blissbrook, who's kind of an icon in the industry. And basically what Richard was saying is that in network marketing, the largest part of our paycheck is the 80%ers, the people who just have maybe a handful of customers. They make up the majority of our paycheck. And I'm thinking, yeah, but those are the people who are going off my report right now. Like, it made me sick. And so I realized that we needed to have some kind of a campaign to love on our team members who were in those 80%ers. And now my team, we do a lot with Ray Higdon with Rank Makers. And Ray talks a lot about the Thompson rule. So Larry Thompson, another icon in the industry. And Larry Thompson says 80% are people who just love the community and want to make anywhere from $0 to $500. 15% of people want to make between $1,000 to $3,000. And then the 5% of people want to make more. And so he actually even pointed out, which was a gut check for me, he said, there are people who make $1 million in this industry who are not 5%ers. He said they were at one time with their activity level, but they're not 5%ers. They're more like 15%ers. And so that had a reality check with my own activity of where I had been operating and what I need to do to change that. But the 80%ers, again, they're so important. I think that I didn't understand that for a while, and I probably made my team members, I probably put expectations on my team members that I didn't realize that I was doing. Sometimes what people tell us, their words don't match their actions, and we don't ever want to make them wrong, but it is, if you have a team, like just being aware when those things aren't lining up. You don't have to tell them that they're not a 5%er, that they're not a 15%er, but it's really important for you to be aware, just so you know how you can treat them. Like, they're there to be noticed and loved and appreciated. Now, you wouldn't spend all of your time with those people, but you just want to make sure that you have something in place to love on them. So in our team, we like to recognize anniversaries. So the PBC report shows when people's anniversaries are due to go out. And if they're direct to me, I'm sending them a card and maybe a little gift card to go with it. I even think this about our customers, that it's important to love and appreciate them. So I do send my customers an anniversary gift every year for being my customer for however long they have been my customer. And it doesn't have to be of high monetary value. I just think a handwritten note and a card can go a long way for a lot of people in this society. What else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about raising independent leaders. You guys come from a strong lineage and organization. And I'll say raising independent leaders, but I'll also say interdependent, because you always want to come back to this mothership, and you always want to contribute gifts and ideas to your uplines of if there's ways that you think that it can be better. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. We as leaders welcome that kind of feedback, and we will like twirl it around to see how we can make it fit. Because we know like the only constant is change. And you're valued, and for you to have it on your heart and mind, there's a reason. And if you're feeling some things, sometime other people are as well. But I just don't recommend you guys breaking off and doing all of your own things. Like, I really discourage my team from having their own team pages until they're like 39 Club NMDs. Because what I've seen, even in some of my NMDs, they've not stayed consistent. Like, I know that I'm consistent. I know your leaders are consistent. And so if you put all of your team in your team page where you're not consistent, they're missing out on getting more of the vision and the culture from the people who are consistent. So I think it's really important to keep your team plugged into somebody who's consistent. I mean, maybe you are an NMD and you're amazing at social media, then good, because I think it's like chess pieces, not checkers. Everybody is a little different. Brandy, not as great at social media. Me, that's my thing. But I do think that we all need to flex that muscle, because we know like that Facebook is the way the world communicates. And I know that we're hearing some millennials say, I'm not on Facebook. Well, it is a business tool and the rest of the world is on it. So I think it's important that they be on it to hear their team communications, just like I would have hired you for a job. This is part of your job. But I try to, as a leader, I try to make what I do so simple, because I want you guys to know you too can be a 100 Club NMD. I don't want you to see me on all of these different things, running everything. That's not duplicatable. Even me going live in my team page every day, that's not duplicatable. Everybody will look at me and then think, well, I have to come up with content when I'm an NMD. I'm going to have to do all of these things. No, you don't. So I don't even go live in my team that much. Unless we've got a contest or something going on. But Ray Higdon, I did hear that a couple weeks back, him saying, I was thinking everything that I was learning that I needed to tell my team, and he said, don't do that. And Lauren Lahav says, whoever uses the most resources wins. And so I'm very good at using resources. And so instead of doing that, Brandy and I created this little incentive for our team called Become an Empire Goal Getter. And you guys are welcome to steal it. And so what it was that they had to sign up. They had to be a virtual franchisor hire. And really, this was appealing to the 15 and 5%ers. This was something for them because they need a space too. And so for you to be an Empire Goal Getter, you committed on Eventbrite. There was no cost. We just it needed to be a tangible commitment. So they committed on Eventbrite. And then from Eventbrite, we asked them to join Rank Makers. So there is a $20 a month investment on their behalf of joining Rank Makers. But they're getting, if you guys don't know, and I'm not trying to sell him to you tonight by any means, but I find so much value in his training. Every day he goes live, Monday through Sunday. He provides training and he provides an action step. And then at the end of the week, he gives you a tracking form for you to fill out. And then he rewards people who track it. So he's just taken so much responsibility off my shoulder as a leader. That's super duplicatable. So they had to commit to that. When I saw that they were in that group, Brandy and I committed to buying them each a Rachel Hollis Start Today journal. So I bought all of them Start Today journals. and it's all in their mailboxes at this point. And then we start tomorrow. And really what it is we'll have a Facebook group for them. But we're going to do a start today shout out. And then we're going to do a end of the day rank makers roll call to make sure people checked in. Now, depending on what Ray's activity is, like Monday was for them to, claim a number of people they were going to talk to this week about their product or their business. And so I might pop in that group and say, hey, we're going to have, or I'd love to know what your guys' goals were this week. I don't care if it's 5 or if it's 20, or 100. What's your goal of how many people you're going to share the product and business with this week? I might do those kind of things. So we do these kind of things with our team a lot because I think that they need a home and they need a community of matching energy to be a part of. So for the rest, the 80%ers, we called it a fuel your fire contest. And again, I learned this from Ray, but he said, do a pre-contest contest. So this was a lot of fun. And so he's like, your goal is never to get to a few people to do a lot. Your goal is always to get a lot of people to do a little bit. Your paycheck will grow phenomenally if you can figure out a way to get a lot of people to do a little bit. And so I took that idea and I said, all right, our NMDs decided from conference, and we announced it to those first who were at conference, but the Monday after conference through the end of the month, whoever got one new customer and they hashtagged Fuel the Fire customer in our team page, then we would put them in this pre-contest or in this contest group. So you had to kind of buy your way in, if you will, or earn your way into the group. And so now for the month of May, anybody who got a customer in that time frame, if they achieve a 3-1, so we say 3 new customers and 1 HLP in the month of May, then they're going to get a VIP training. And we were able to get, you want to get somebody good for them to put in that work. And so we were able to get Linda Evenden to say yes to doing a training for those people who achieve a 3-1. Everybody who achieves a 3-1 will get to be on this VIP training with her. And then the people who bring in the top 3 volume, we're going to gift Southwest gift cards, 175 and 50. So they have something fun to work towards, and that appeals to the 80%. Even if they just wanted to get one customer and be a part of this achievement and be a part of this group, they can do that, right? Everybody can go get one customer. What I wanted to, so recognition is really big for us, and I know I'm going over probably, so I apologize, but I feel like I've got such good nuggets I want to share with you. Many of you have probably heard that I recognize 10, 20, 30, 40. So what I mean by that is I look at the PBC report and however many customers you were paid on that month, that's what I'm looking at. So I recognize people who were recognized between 10 and 19, 20 and 29, so on and so forth. And then I create an image and I put their names on it, 10, 20, 30, 40. Well, that's awesome. But then I was like, but we also need team members, like not just customers. Customers are awesome, and a lot of our distributors come from that base. And so I got this idea from a friend at the time, and basically we created a mascot, and ours was this cute stuffed tiger, and we named him Ravy because I'm inspired by Katie Ravy. And so Ravy the tiger was bought, and at first it was just going to whoever had the most new team members each month. And it was good, but then I felt like we do both. We do new customers, we get customers, and we get team. So now I alternate each month that Ravy goes to whoever's house has had the most new customers last month, and this month he'll go to the house of whoever has had the most new team members. And so they get bragging rights, and they get social media rights to do fun things with Ravy. But at conference, whoever was what do we call them, like a mascot handler from conference to conference, Jaren and I, and then the other NMDs have now followed suit. We come up with an experience to treat these two people to at conference. So in Sacramento, we did the pedal pub, and there were like 30 to 40 of us on the pedal pubs all throughout Sacramento, just having the best time. And it just created the best, just team bonding and team chemistry. And so that was a lot of fun. So I wanted to mention those kind of things. And if you guys like them, like let your sponsors know. Maybe you guys already do that kind of stuff. We do the team party. That's super fun. Stable. And I think the most stable and lasting piece of this is that Brandy and I have decided we have a very open line of communication. So if there's something that doesn't set well with me, I communicate it with her and vice versa. And we've committed to never part. Like, it's just silly. there's just so much strength when we can work together. And when the team can see that, I think then they get more excited about rising up in their leadership, because then they know that the more of us there are, like many hands make the work light, right? So the more of us there are, then the easier it will be as they grow. So I did want to share with you guys the verbiage that my team is really winning with. And this is because I'm always analyzing where they can get better at. And honestly, it was something I needed to get better at myself. And I had to find the right verbiage that made me comfortable to say it to people, to invite them into the team. And so the verbiage is this. So it was something Kurt Beavers had said back in the beginning of January. He said the word super customer, and it resonated with me for some reason. And basically, this is how it goes. So my friend, I'll give you a perfect example. So a sweet girl was referred to me by a nurse friend. And this young girl's 18-month-old had had the flu twice and RSV once in the month of January. So she was looking for something to help her baby. And the nurse friend says, my family takes Juice Plus. And she says, I'll connect you with my friend Jamie. And this girl has no interest in our business. So I reach out to Kayla and I send her Jumpstart to Better Health, and I answer any questions. Well, she definitely wants it for her daughter. She says something about how much does it cost. You could hear it was an issue. And I said, Kayla, there's 3 ways that you can order from me. I said, number 1, you can just be my customer. I said, I promise I'm going to take really good care of you. I said, but I want to let you know that come end of the year, our customers are going to have to take care of their own orders. They're catching up with the times now. And so I'll still notify you when your orders are due to go out, but you're going to have to take care of adjusting next ship dates and stuff like that, in the future. So because of that, a lot of my customers, it makes sense for them to become what I consider a super customer. And a super customer, it's a healthy living partner. And so for $50, you share Juice Plus with a couple people besides yourself. And if you do that in a 30-day period of time, you're going to get a $100 thank you bonus back. And you're going to get the retail sales profit on those orders. And then the last way is some people want to make an extra $300 to $500. Their family is actually looking for extra income or more. I said, and some people want to come in that door. I said, I will meet you wherever it is that you're at. Just let me know. And so she said, let me talk to my husband. I'll get back with you. I said, okay. Well, the next day I get a Facebook message saying, I think I want to do the 30-day thing. I said, that's awesome. I sent her the HLP video, and she knocked it out of the park. She got her HLP done. I didn't have to do anything other than just kind of coach her through what she needed. So that was fun. I celebrated her. I put a post out in our team page on Facebook. I think I sent her a little something in the mail. And then I said, would you like to know what the next step is? And she said, yeah, that was fun. Now, you guys, she didn't come in the door to go further than an HLP. And so then I sent her the 2000 plus video. And then she let me come and do an event. We set up a time. I did an event. I shared Juice Plus with, it was like a lot of her older family. And she achieved her 2000 plus. And then I said to her, again, promoted her on Facebook, promoted her in our team page, celebrated her, sent her a little something. And I said, would you like to know what the next step is? And she's like, yeah, this is so much fun. And so now she's express tracking to sales coordinator, the person who just wanted to come in, the 30-day door. And I say this because that is the door I came in. Remember at the beginning, Brandy said, Jane, it's $50. If you share Juice Plus with a couple of people, doesn't make sense to offset your costs. That's the door this more just self-conscious, insecure person said. But look what came out of me, right? A 100 Club National Marketing Director. So I think offering those 3 doors for people, it just, number 1, feels really good. And number 2, I think you're going to get a lot more people saying yes, because it doesn't seem so scary and serious as a business. And I feel like for a while I was only leading that business way. And so I actually just had a teacher thank me who's on our team in California this week. And she said, Jamie, thank you because of your verbiage. I signed up 3 new team members this week. Like, Juliet had such a hard time getting team members, and now she's gotten 3 in a week because of the verbiage. So I do have that verbiage. I see you guys asking for it, Erin, so I can send that to Sandy or to Nikki. I typed that up today for something else, so I'm happy to share it with you guys. But I'd love to answer any questions. I'm over, I think, by 10 minutes. So.
Oh, thank you so much, Jamie. I was taking notes like furious. So yes, we would like that verbiage. And I think, do we have time, Nikki, for one question?
I think we should probably, we're 10 minutes over, and it was really amazing, Sandy, and I think we should just respect everybody's time in case they have other things to plan, because then they got big FOMO. Oh my God, I'm going to miss something. So let's just make sure that Jamie sends either you or I those little tips that she's going to send, and then Sandy, you get it out to the HEAT team, NMDs, and then we can make sure all our teams get it out. And
awesome.
Just, me too. I took pages and pages and pages and pages and pages.
Yeah. I know some of that, I'm sorry, because I feel like I was talking to NMDs, but I think that it would be exciting if you guys embraced any of that. You probably already do a lot of it. There's a lot I know I can learn from you guys still, but that's kind of what's working in our organization. And yeah, we're not going anywhere.
Great job, Jamie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. That was
Thank
awesome.
you so much. Everyone unmute yourself so you can tell Jamie goodbye. And thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Like a copy of your verbiage.